Great, awesome, and amazing day, everyone. This is your girl, Success Coach Nakesha, bringing you another segment of Let Wisdom Speak. Listen, go ahead, like, tag, share, and also subscribe to your girl here on YouTube. And also follow me there on Instagram at I Am The Holistic Goddess. Facebook, The Motivation. If you're catching it by chance on YouTube, I will go ahead and put the links down below inside the description. So let's go ahead and get into it. Go ahead and grab your coffee, your tea, your water, or whatever it may be, and let's go ahead and talk about a little wisdom on how we're able to effectively chase our dreams and making our goals become our reality. I'm going to give you a couple of seconds to get up in here. Go ahead, baby. Get in here. Get in here. Y'all see that? It say Lash Boss. Lash Boss. As you can see, these lashes is popping, baby. These lashes is popping, baby. All right, go ahead. Hey, thank you so much for tuning in. Like, tag, share. Also, invite someone to this live broadcast on today. Go ahead and do what you do. Tag a couple of friends, someone who you know that may have given up on their dreams, someone that you know that has great potential and currently not walking in the potential that they actually have. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go ahead and turn off the music, because now we have that vibe thing going on up in here, just like we like it. And we are going to go ahead and get into it. Again, for those of you who do not know who I am, they call me Success Coach Nakesha. Why? Because I am someone that looks to help groom and prepare you for your legacies to be built and also to continue to push you towards your dreams. I also help individuals create 6- and 7-figure legacies that cannot be broken. So today we're going to go ahead and continue with the subject title of Chasing Your Dreams Effectively. Now, if you tune into the previous broadcast, if not, go ahead and scroll down this timeline or wherever you may be. No, take a look. Matter of fact, if you're on my YouTube page, take a look. If you're on my Instagram, take a look. Go ahead and look around and find what you need. So with that being said, in the previous broadcast, I gave you guys 7 levels to chasing your dreams effectively, right? So I'm not going to go back through all of them again. It's just the first 2 I want to talk about on today. And the first 2 levels is going to be having courage and also having heart. And as I told you before, that every level of you requires a new layer of you. So every time you begin to elevate and you go to the next level in life and you begin to level up and start to crush your dreams and start to see different things begin to manifest, we have to always remember that every new level requires a new layer of us. So let's go ahead and get into it. Like I said, we're going to talk about level 1, which is going to be courage, and level number 2, which is going to be having that heart. You know what I'm saying? So let's first define what courage is. And as I begin to look up these particular words I'm going to throw out here to you all, it kind of made my mind go back to kind of think, and it started to make sense, and it started to connect in the right places where I was once disconnected. So the first thing you should always do whenever you're looking, this is with anything, not just chasing your dreams, but to get an understanding, right? Because the word tells us, with all you're getting, get an understanding. So a lot of times we can hear a thing and we already know, like, I know what courage means. However, at the same time, I wanted to go and look up and see what the world definition of courage is, what the dictionary says about courage. And this is what it said. It says courage. Courage is the ability to do something that frightens you. Courage is the ability to do something that frightens you. So with that being said, think about something that you absolutely wanted to do, or you had your heart set on at one particular time, and because you didn't have courage, it began to create this sense of fear. This sense of fear began to develop within inside of you because you're now wanting to step outside of something and begin to enter into a world or a thing that you totally do not understand. So when that happens, we have to remember that fear is only false evidence appearing real, right? So with that being said, do not lose courage. You want to begin to develop your courage. Begin to develop the courage that's already down on the inside of you. Because as you all know, as I always tell you all, that we have these treasures in earthen vessels, and the good book, the word of God, of course, tells us, just like he told Joshua, we have to take on the same word that God gave unto Joshua when he told him to be of good courage. So listen, today, your girl, Nakesha, is stopping by to tell you, be of good courage. Begin to develop courage in those places where you're looking to be successful. You know what I'm saying? Those places where you desire to do a certain thing. And sometimes, things can get inside the way. Our way of thinking or the people around us can get inside our way. So level number 1, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be courage. And another thing that I wrote down that came to my mind was, a lot of times when we begin to have a thing to come to our mind, or we have a vision, or we have a thought or an idea, we begin to talk ourselves out of those things, right? So with that being said, no longer begin to talk yourself out of the very thing that may have came into your heart, or the very thought that may have came into your mind. Why? Because a lot of times what happens is, everybody have good ideas, but do they have the courage to be able to step forward into the realm of courage, right? So with that being said, listen, I want you to know, whatever you may face, as long as you have courage, just know that you're able to do it afraid. You know what I'm saying? You know how we say step out on faith, which we all know, for those that already watched the previous broadcast, and I gave out those 7 levels of chasing your dreams effectively. We all know that number 3 is going to be faith, which we'll get into that on the next segment. We'll get into that later on. But for the sake of today and your time, because I really appreciate you and your time for stopping by on today. Yes, girl, go ahead and like, click, and share the broadcast, okay? Thank you so much for tuning in. So like I said before, we have to learn how to do it afraid. You know what I'm saying? We have to have that faith. You know what I'm saying? The word of God told Joshua to not look to the left. Joshua 1, you can go read verse 6 all the way down to like verse 9 or 8, however you want to do it. Because when you go and you start to look at those particular words, it begins to give us instructions, to be honest. Because God already knew that we was going to have some tough times and some discouraging times. So with that being said, just like he gave, I hear you, Holy Ghost, be a bold witness. I hear you, God, I hear you. So, I'm sorry, my senses starting to kick in, but I hear you, Holy Spirit. I hear you. So begin to be obedient. Be obedient into the word that he has placed there inside of your heart. Be obedient unto the vision that he has already given unto you. Be obedient to the thought that he has placed inside your mind. So with that being said, like I said before, you want to begin to have courage. Courage is level number 1. Because in order for you to do anything in this world, whether you're looking to go out and get a new job, start a new business, lose some weight, or whatever the case may be, you most definitely have to have some type of courage, right? So again, my friend, listen, do it absolutely afraid. Do it afraid. How do you know what you are going to become if you never step outside into the realm of courage? And like I was saying before about the 3rd level, which is going to be faith, and we'll tap into that a little bit later, but you have to have faith. You know what I'm saying? You have to have courage. Just like you hear people say, man, you got to step out on faith. Well, today, Nakesha is stopping by, my friend, to tell you to begin to step out on courage. Don't allow nobody to come and staff for you or keep you placed inside of a box. Listen, there's a quote that I put on one of my banners because this word came to me. The word spoke to me and said, listen, don't cancel out your vision because their vision has not yet caught up to yours. Don't cancel out your dreams because small-minded people has not yet seen the vision that should come to pass. We have to remember that the word also tells us that ears have not heard, eyes have not seen, and neither has it yet entered into the heart of man what God has prepared for his people. So as sure enough as you are a child of the Most High God, you have to remember that we have to be a bold witness. We have to be courageous. We have to be bold in our faith. We have to be bold in what we actually believe. So again, like I said before, ladies and gentlemen, let absolutely no one talk you out of your dream. Just because they don't understand the vision that you have does not mean that you have to go and take the things that was placed inside of you and put it on the back burner. No longer put self behind. Line yourself up and have courage. So number 2, listen. Number 2, hold up. Before I go into level number 2, which is going to be heart, I want to go ahead and give you these the very thoughts that I was having as I was meditating on the 2 levels. So the thought that came to my mind as I was meditating and also, bringing this word to you all was, stop trying to be perfect and be you. You have to learn how to have self-talks on a regular that talks you into your greatness. Listen, and we have to remember that everything that has an ear, let it hear. We know that faith comes by hearing and hearing by the word. It's all about how we are setting up our atmosphere. In the previous broadcast that we did before a few weeks back, we talked about how we have power in our atmosphere. So this is one of those ways that we know that we have power in our atmosphere, because when we begin to have those positive self-thoughts with ourselves, begin to look in the mirror and tell yourself that I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. I may not know how it's going to get done, but at the same time, I know if God has placed that very thought in my mind and that vision inside my heart, I know that he's going to be the one to help it come to pass. So use me as you will. Begin to speak positive things over your life, because too many times we have had individuals to speak negativity over our lives. So today, my friend, begin to lift yourself up. Lift up the atmosphere that you may be in on today, because you have everything down on the inside of you to evolve and become the person that you should actually become. So with that being said, as we went through level number 1 about having courage, that was level number 1. We have to realize that level number 1 of having courage actually helps create the layer for the next part, which is level number 2, having the heart. Once we have developed ourselves in our courage and we have that boldness down on the inside of us, it has now laid the foundation for the heart to be connected to the very vision that has been placed down on the inside of us. Listen, I remember a while back there was a young man that I was listening to on TV, and what he said made so much sense. And that was years ago. If I'm not mistaken, like maybe 10 years ago. But that word has always stuck with me, because what he said was, we have to learn how to have the heart-mouth connection. So when we begin to have that heart-mouth connection, that's when we're able to flow inside the direction that we should actually go. So that's why it's very important to start with courage, because courage helps develop your heart. You know what I'm saying? What is it that you actually believe that you can actually do or accomplish? What is it that you're talking and telling yourself on a regular basis? See, we have to be mindful of those things that's being portrayed inside of our atmosphere. We have to be very mindful of the powers, the seductive powers that's around inside of our atmosphere. We have to be very mindful of the very things that we allow to enter into our heart, enter into our mind, and also enter into our ear gates, and also our spirit man. So at all costs, you want to begin to protect your peace. I know you hear people saying, oh, I'm going to protect my peace at all costs. But do you really mean that? Like, what is it that you're listening to on a daily basis? What is it that you're allowing to go down on the inside of you? Like, what is it that you're allowing people to speak over you? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is it that you're reading? You know what I'm saying? Listen, if you're going to begin to protect your peace at all costs, that means that I'm going to have to protect my ear gates, my eye gates. That way those things will not flow into my heart. Because the word tells that the issue of life flows from the abundance of our heart. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we have to begin to develop the heart to go after exactly what it is. We have to begin to trust that whatever it is that has been placed down on the inside of us, that we can absolutely do it. So today, I'm telling you, my friend, you can absolutely do exactly what it is that you were set out to do. Listen, we have abilities down on the inside of us that we will never be able to tap into unless we learn how to tap into the person that we was really created to be from the foundation of the earth. There's a word, I believe it's like in Psalms 137 or 134, wherever it may be, I know what it says. You know what I'm saying? He said that I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Like before my frame was even made, he had made us fearfully and wonderfully made. So my friend, today I'm stopping by to tell you that you are fearfully and wonderfully made. So whatever you have your heart set on, listen, you can absolutely do it. You can absolutely do it. But are you willing to go through those levels and those different channels? Because it's level to chasing your dreams. And this levels to being effective as you're chasing your dreams. So as I was, looking at this word and studying this word, so, when you begin to study other things, I know for me, when I begin to study and I allow the Spirit to move as it will and as it pleases, it begins to show me other things. So as I was looking at level number 2, and it was talking about the heart, this is what came to me. It's my thought said to me, my spirit man said to me that when you have developed the heart, nothing and no one can persuade you from doing what it is that you are set out to do. Why? Because it's now in you, and it has now become a part of who you are and who you shall become. And the key word was no one can persuade. So as I was looking at as that word persuade came to me, I went and I looked up the word persuade and persuasion. So whenever I looked up the word persuasion, the way it broke it down to me inside the dictionary was that persuasion means the attempt to influence a person's belief. Listen, persuasion means the attempt to influence a person's belief, attitude, intentions, motivations, and behavior. But the one I want to focus on is the attempt to influence a person's belief. So who and what is it that's persuading you? What is it that you're allowing to persuade you? You know what I'm saying? I know that, listen, we don't want to be shaped by our environment. We don't want our environment to continue to shape us. You know what I'm saying? Because we should not be a product of our actual environment. If you are a person that's in a negative environment, then from there, you're going to have to learn how to take control and create the environment that you need. Listen, you're looking at a woman that has been through so much. You might be looking at this pretty face today, but baby, trust me, I didn't have the type of environment that you all may think I have had. It's just that I have learned. And I have learned to allow the Spirit to lead and guide me to become the person that I shall become. I'm still not there. So as I begin to talk to you all, I also help myself. So with that being said is, do not allow anyone to come in and persuade you or take you off course from going in the direction that you want to go that shall bring you positive results. And then even when I was looking at persuasion, I also looked up the word persuade. Persuade also means to do something out of reasoning because of an argument. Don't allow somebody else to argue you out your dreams. You know what I'm talking about? Don't let nobody come and persuade you from attaining the very things that you have there inside your heart. Listen, people have every reason and every thing to believe and doubt that you're not able to do something because they are not able to do it. You know what I'm saying? We're two different people. Like, we're cut from two different cloths. Like, my ambition may not be your ambition. My dreams and goals may not be your dreams and goals. So with that being said, then from there, to create that positive environment, we have to have better influencers around us. We have to have better teachers around us. And from there, that's how you begin to protect your peace. That's how you're able to begin to take control of the full power that's there inside your atmosphere. It is up to us, like I said before, to pick, choose, and refuse. You have the ability to pick, choose, and refuse what you're going to allow to transpire in your life. That's the type of power and authority that you have. I was reading my devotion on today, and I believe it came from Matthew 16 and 19, where Pastor Joel Osteen, when he was talking about inside the devotion that I lied. It was Kenneth Copeland. I was reading Faith to Faith with Kenneth Copeland and his wife, Miss Gloria. No, you know what I'm saying? No shameless plugs there. You know what I'm saying? I just like to read my word and get that word in every single day so I can go out and pray what I want and put in that action. But anyway, back to the broadcast, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, I believe it came from like Matthew 16 and 19, but I'm going to tell you exactly what it was saying. He said that God has given us the power to the kingdom. So whatever we bind on earth shall be bound in heaven. Whatever is loose on earth shall also be loose in heaven. And as I begin to read the word that the brother had written inside that devotion, it started to make sense to me. Because when we think about heaven, we think about heaven where God is actually sitting. But we have to realize that there's other things that's in the heavens. You know what I'm saying? It's levels to get into the level of heaven where God actually sits and where he actually dwells. And where, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna get into all that because I ain't got time for y'all today. But listen, let me tell you. Like, the moral of the story is we have the power from the beginning of the world. Before the world and the foundation was laid, he already had you and me already in the plan. He already had us inside the plan. But the thing is, you have to go pick up the book in order to get the blueprint to what it is the blueprint that it is that's pertaining to your actual life, your actual walk. We have to remember that when we begin to study the word, it begins to show us the full will that God has already planned for us. He has called some of us to go and take over territories that no other person can ever take over. Listen, we have to stop being so afraid to step out and believe differently than what other people may think. It's okay for us to think differently. It's just that that's the level you on, and this is the level that I'm on. You know what I'm saying? You don't go and you don't go to school and everybody's starting on the same level. We may be on the same grade level, but the layer that has already been placed upon me is different from what it is that has been placed upon you. The type of grace that has been placed upon me is absolutely different from the grace that God may have given unto you. But at the same time, we have to remember that he said in his word that he has given every man the measure of faith. But what is it that you're going to actually do in order to get yourself where you need to be? So with that being said, stop allowing people to persuade you to put down your dreams. Stop allowing people to persuade you to put down the goals that you have set for yourself. Stop allowing people to persuade you to be something that you're not. You are a whole lot better when you're the person that God has called you to be. So today, I am coming to tell you that this is your day for total victory. This is your day to make up that I'm going to pick, choose, and refuse what I allow to come in my life. I'm going to pick, choose, and refuse what I allow to come and influence me. I'm going to pick, choose, and refuse the very things that I allow to come and persuade me inside the direction where I should be going. Because I have a purpose and God has a plan. Oh, God, hallelujah, Jesus. I don't know who that was for, but baby, let me sip this water. God has a purpose. You have a purpose and God has a plan. You have a purpose and God has a plan. So what are you going to do? You have to begin to dig deep. There was a word that I gave before on a previous broadcast that God has had given to me when he has said to me personally. And I just shared it with you all because you all may be going through the same thing. The word that he gave to me was, Nakesha, why are you chasing success when success is already in you? Once you figure out who you are, then from there you're able to walk boldly in the authority that you have to go and take everything that belongs to you. Once you dig deep inside of you and begin to tap into the treasures that I have placed in your earthen vessels, that's where your success lies. Success is inside each and every last one of us. But what are we going to begin to do in order to cultivate and begin to cultivate for those things to be able to develop? What are we going to do? Are we going to continue to sit on the dock of the bay wasting time, or are we going to get off our do nothing and begin to do something? Don't allow another uncircumcised Philistine come and try to pull your destiny, your dreams away from you. You have everything on the inside of you to evolve, to become that greater person that you are. The great Les Brown said, baby, that you don't have to be great to get started, but in order to be great, you have to get started in order to be great. So let me say it how he said. He said, you don't have to be great to get started, but in order to be great, become great, you have to get started. You don't have to be great to get started, but to become great, you have to first of all get started. And this is our time on today, ladies and gentlemen. Tune in to the next broadcast for level 3 and 4, because I'm telling you, baby, it's going to be legit. Level 3 and level 4, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be talking about faith and action. Faith and action. See, I'm kind of leaving you right there, you know what I'm saying? Because listen, I don't want to get ahead of myself. This day be so good. Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, today is your day for total victory. My name is Success Coach Nakesha, and I declare that you shall go out and make great disciples. Have a blessed and amazing day, everyone. Bye-bye.